What's up, y'all? This is Ace.
I'm Moss.
Yeah, I was gonna say it took you long enough. I was like, you over there in town skip, or you over there in?
We ain't really get this intro down yet. I thought you was gonna introduce me too.
No, this is the second episode. Bump on that introduction.
I don't know, man.
Bump on that. We get right into it.
In a world where the mouse controls everything, you must fear the mouse.
You know what's going on YouTube, right? You know that, right?
Yes. Why do you think I'm acting so stupid?
Okay, let's get into the topic. The topic is Disney. Disney is going crazy. Disney is just like taking over everything. I was looking over the D23. Miles, I don't know if you had like did any research with D23. It was underwhelming, but they dropped so much stuff that I feel like it was a cash grab. Honestly, don't get me, but I feel like it was a cash grab because they announced the Mufasa movie. They announced my same exact face.
Why does Mufasa need his own movie?
Because it's a prequel to The Lion King 1.
We don't need ask that. Me. Nobody's asking for that.
Nobody. Asking for that. Somebody out there in the world asking for a Mufasa prequel.
Nobody asked for these live action remakes. They still made all of those.
Oh,
not a single person wanted that to happen.
The whole community is going ape crap over the. Have you seen the Little Mermaid teaser?
I haven't seen the teaser, but I've seen people complaining about it because they have nothing better to do.
They have nothing better to do. They complaining about it like it's ridiculous. That's crazy. And then
y'all, it's an actor. Get over it.
Right. That's what crazy to me.
For real.
Right. Then, so let's go to the big thing. The big thing was I'm a card gamer. Mouse is a card gamer. Let's talk about Disney coming out with their own card game. They said that rivals Magic Gathering and Pokemon. Hasn't even came out yet, but it's supposed to rival them two. Them two?
That's bold.
I can see Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Digimon maybe. Not Magic and Pokemon. Pokemon, still to this day, people still buying it. And that book came out, what? 1995?
Right. Like, you know how expensive those Pokemon cards can get?
Yes. And you know how much expensive the Magic cards can get. So I'm
still mad I got a $13 Dracula card and haven't drawn it once. For a Planeswalker, he sure seems to hate this plane. I'm salty.
I remember I felt the same way. I spent $30 on this cycling card for Magic. And then, I kid you not, it was in my deck. And I have not seen it once. And you know how much I cycle? I cycle out my deck so much. Have not seen it once in the tournament. I just gave up. I was like, what the flip? I was like, this is ridiculous. And then, okay, so better question is, how do you feel about Disney?
About Disney in general?
Yeah, like about Disney in general.
I don't trust them. I'll watch pretty much anything they put out, except most of those live action stuff. That ain't interest me in the slightest. But like, they've been a mainstay of American culture and beyond, basically since they came up. It's a little ridiculous, to be honest. And the way they're buying everything, it scares me.
Yeah,
it really honestly scares me.
It really does. They buying stuff like crazy.
Like I said, the mouse is controlling everything. The mouse rules the world.
Yeah, the mouse rules the world, and it's getting sad because we just talked about how Disney had bought Fox. Now, this is ridiculous. I understand that Disney is a family-friendly place, but come on now, it's kind of suspect that why you keep buying all the stuff. Why are you trying to put your why do you keep trying to put your stuff out there? Like you keep trying to grab things, adapt things, and that's just really
See,
go
my
ahead.
thing about the Fox acquisition is that that's pretty much the only way they could have gotten a lot of those Marvel characters back into Marvel's hands as far as film rights go. Because Fox owned like half of those guys. They own the X-Men. Like the X-Men are such a staple of Marvel comics that it didn't even make sense for the only reason that Fox even owned the X-Men is because Marvel needed to sell all those properties for film rights and crap when they were going under a few years ago.
Yep.
I want to say like what, 20, 25 years ago.
The only way the MCU, I don't care what nobody say, they could, I would die on this bridge. The MCU got famous off of Iron Man. And you know who started all Iron Man? Jon Favreau. Happy basically built this flipping universe. I don't care what nobody say. He built this mug. It would not be an MCU without his directorial vision. Put it into Iron Man.
And one of the main things you have to remember about that is like when they had to sell the X-Men, those were their most popular characters. Nobody cared about Iron Man and Captain America when these movies came out.
Nobody.
I mean, some people did, obviously, but it's like the Avengers. Who are they?
Right.
Some small time compared to the X-Men, who were everywhere.
Right. Now,
and the MCU almost single-handedly made those some of the most popular characters to exist.
Now, while we on Disney, and the one thing I think Disney should just go ahead and buy and stop playing these games is Sony. They just need to go ahead and buy Sony. I'd rather him buy Fox last than Sony net first, right? Let me explain why. What is I don't care what nobody say, what is the biggest money maker for Sony?
Oh, Spider-Man, without a doubt.
Spider-Man is the single hand. I promise you, if Sony did not have the rights to Spider-Man, they would not be here. The Minions ain't making Sony money. I don't even know what other properties they ain't making Sony money.
I mean, their video games still make them a lot of money.
Huh?
Video games, PlayStation.
Yeah, but that's their
as far
video
as
game
movies
department.
go.
Their movie department, who is making them money? Spider-Man.
Yep. Pretty much everything else they put out flops.
Everything they put out flops. They try to, and then what crazy is they know that, okay, because Spider-Man, they split with Disney, right? Disney
that got weird.
Yeah, they gotta they gotta have
custody thing.
They gotta have like a mutual agreement for Spider-Man to show up on a movie.
Right.
Then so they trying to make I know this is off a Disney topic, but it's gonna be tied back in. Did you know they making a Madam Web movie?
I heard something about that. That's real interesting. Mostly because I don't trust Sony to do that.
It's gonna flop. The only good Spider-Verse movies was Venom.
You mean like the first one, right?
Yeah, the first one. I don't care what nobody said. I like Venom too, but Venom was the first one, and then this was, since they said, well, Venom did good. This should be. So it's a Spider-Verse. It's a Spider-Verse movie without Spider-Man.
So Into the Spider-Verse also did amazing. That's probably the best Spider-Man movie that Sony's ever put out.
Ever happened. That's the best. That's the best Spider-Man, and that's crazy. The best Spider-Man movie was animated.
And about Miles Morales.
And not even about Peter Parker. It was somebody. Main story is Miles. Best movie ever. It's just ridiculous how Disney is fighting tooth and nail for. I don't care what nobody say. The only reason why Sony is still making still alive is because of Spider-Man. Now, if Disney had found a right to get 100% worth of Spider-Man, 100% of Spider-Man, Sony's gonna go down. And guess
And
what
that's why
Disney gonna do?
Sony's not letting them go.
And you know what Disney gonna do?
What?
Hey Sony, I see that you need some help on your house payments, your mortgage payments. Come on, work for me, and I got you. That's exactly what's gonna happen, bro.
Sounds like someone needs a loan. My
yeah,
Mickey Mouse impression is garbage, but like,
but it's like the whole topic of this podcast today is are we still supporting Disney because it is nostalgic, or are they popping out good content to support it? That's what my question is. Are we supporting for nostalgic or popping out good content still?
I feel like the name carries more weight than what they're actually making these days.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because some of these things that they making just is like, why? Like, why? Like at this year alone, with the Marvel is just a good topic because that's what mostly people are looking forward to. This year alone, Marvel did horrible with everything they released. Doctor Strange wasn't there for me. That mug was kind of too demonic. Is my point. Well, that's a different topic. Thor and Love and Thunder.
Still haven't seen that.
But
I haven't heard good things. But I haven't heard good things.
Gosh. And then I'm like, if they, I kid you not, this is what's gonna happen. If they mess up Black Panther Wakanda Forever, because that mug comes out in a month or two. If they somehow mess that mug up, Moss, I kid you not, I would jump on DC so fast. And DC don't even know what the heck they doing.
In my opinion, they're already messing it up because I've seen most of their marketing campaign, is based off of like mourning T'Challa and mourning Chadwick Boseman. And the populace has already done that. We don't need you making us sad again with your advertisements, reminding us this man is dead. Why are you doing that? It's just, it sits wrong with me. It's like they're building their entire marketing campaign for Black Panther Forever, or Wakanda Forever, ever that movie is going to be called, just off of the fact that this man is dead. It's seedy. It doesn't sit right. Like, just tell us that it's a good movie. Damn.
Right. And then if Brian Coogler, the first person to do who made the first Black Panther, the director, the first Black Panther, he's back again. So if the first Black Panther was amazing, but the thing about the first movies are always amazing. Every first movie, if it's a good movie, is amazing, right? The second movie be the downfall for the whole franchise.
Like phase 2 of the MCU wasn't that hot.
Was not that hot.
I mean, I don't think it deserves all the hate it got, but it wasn't that hot.
I think phase 2 is better than phase 4.
You know what? I have to agree with that. Because honestly, Matt, like, let me tell you a story, right? Now, when the MCU started, I wasn't really about it. Like, I saw the first Iron Man, first Captain America, didn't really watch the couple sequels that came out. And then Avengers in 2012 happened. And from that moment on, my mom and I had been watching every single MCU thing that came out for years. It was our thing. It was our main form of bonding because we could just get excited about all these heroes and stuff coming out. After Endgame, the two of us looked at each other and were like, it all seems kind of downhill from here.
Yeah.
And it has been. And like, there's stuff I have been excited for, when Taskmaster showed up in Black Widow, I was like, yo, Taskmaster's one of my favorite villains. They're really, why did they just make it Origins Wolverine Deadpool a second time?
I know, it was so bad. I was like
It's not the fact they made Taskmaster a woman that's my problem. It's that they removed her ability to speak.
It's not even that. It's the point that it was just a person there. It was like had no character. Taskmaster is really noble, really.
See, that's the removing the voice part that I was talking about. They got rid of Taskmaster's entire personality.
Yes.
The personality is why Taskmaster is good, not the moves. You can't have that Taskmaster going up against someone like Spider-Man. The banter's not going to be there.
No, not at all.
And like, what's another? She-Hulk. I was excited for She-Hulk, man. I was really excited for She-Hulk because she's a character I love. I love her energy. I love the fact that she breaks the fourth wall depending on who's writing her. I love like almost everything about her. And the show just turned out to be really mid. Shameless self-plug. I talk about it on Moss and Dan Talk About, another podcast.
Yeah, it was, and I agree with you on some points like this. It is kind of mid. Some of the jokes don't land for me, but I really think like the first two episodes, what really made people have an uproar is the whole woke agenda. We might get be prepared. We might get canceled for this, but the whole woke agenda, it's just bringing down everything because everything has to be woke. Everything has to be. I was watching some videos. They was talking about She-Hulk is a horrible superhero show and this, that, and third. But She-Hulk has clearly stated that it's not a superhero show.
Right.
It's a sitcom. That basically, it's a sitcom, but that has some powers in it.
It's a legal comedy without enough legal stuff happening.
Yeah, that's it. And it has the same vibes as like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was a cop show. It was a comedic cop show, but when it's time to become serious, it was serious. And it's just some. I don't know what Disney is doing, but I feel like Disney is just cash grabbing everything they could cash grab.
See, a good example of the whole woke agenda thing you were saying that I think about often is what happened to Star Wars. Now, in the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, they just silently made women total badasses without having to go, oh, look, it's a woman and she's so cool. She's doing stuff. She's like actually powerful. They just did it. And in the sequel trilogy, they're drawing so much attention to it that it completely negates the thing they're trying to do. Just keep doing what you were doing. Leia, badass. Padme, badass. The way they wrote Rey, trying too hard.
Yeah. And then don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at Rey as the character because she's a woman. I love women. Women can be strong, good characters. But the way she was wrote in all three of those trilogies, like how she discovered the force, which that's BS. That's a whole different topic for a different day. We could have a whole. We could have a whole podcast episode how Finn was supposed to get the force. Was supposed to be. I feel like the Jedi before Rey. But that's a different thing.
The Lego Star Wars stuff treat the characters in the sequel trilogy better than the actual trilogy.
Yeah.
Because you watch the Lego stuff and they straight up have Finn doing Padawan training. They treat him as if he is someone who's learning the Force. And it makes them better than the entire sequel trilogy.
Yes. Because this
among other things. That's not the only reason, obviously.
It's just like, this is crazy how they just doing stuff just to do things. It like they be like, oh, we got the right, so we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do that. We're just gonna do this, do that, and then they don't care about what the fan. And then how I feel, they don't care about what the fans are wanting because they be like, well, y'all gonna come and see it anyway. We can do whatever we want. Like we give you what the Star
And the
Wars
worst
thing.
part is they are absolutely correct.
Yes, that's
We're going to go up in there and watch it, even if we know we're not about to enjoy it.
Even though we know we're not about to enjoy it, we go sit there and enjoy it and watch it and everything.
And honestly, that's all on us.
That is on us because they're not going to learn. Because, like, I don't care what nobody say. Everybody's talking about She-Hulk. Everybody say they ain't watching She-Hulk. Blah 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 blah. She-Hulk is gonna be the worst show ever. She-Hulk. But I bet you every Thursday, those same people that's hating on it gonna be right there.
Even after my declaration of a like hour and a half long episode that the show was super mid, I'm still watching it.
Right.
I mean, I'm watching it in the hope that it'll start getting better.
Right.
But I'm still watching it.
You're watching it.
Now, to be fair, with She-Hulk, it's like, it's not necessarily a good show, but it's not so bad that I'm gonna stop. You know, it has its moments.
Now, the one series I have not watched of Marvel, I watched all the TV series, TV shows. The one I have not watched is Miss Marvel. I haven't even opened up episode 1. I haven't even seen like the Marvel logo when it comes. I have not seen none of that. The only thing I have been spoiled by is Captain Marvel at the end credit scene with Captain Marvel. But
wait a minute. So I'm guessing she didn't have a name until that end credit scene, Kamala. Because I mean, Captain Marvel is the whole reason that Kamala Khan even became a superhero.
Look. I don't even like Captain Marvel. I don't even like the character. I don't.
Wait, you don't like the character?
I do not like. Well, I don't like Brie Larson. Brie Larson is gonna kill the whole Captain Marvel thing for me. I haven't even watched the movie Captain Marvel because I do not like Brie Larson.
Yikes.
So, do you want to add anything? Because we just been going on a rant about how Disney is just killing things.
I mean, that's kind of the point of this episode, ain't it? Not really. I mean, I watched Captain Marvel. It was okay. The only thing that I really did, the best thing that came from that was in the theater. I was seeing, Photon as a little girl, and I looked at her and went, "Wait a minute, is that child going to become Captain Marvel in the future? Because I'm pretty sure this is that character." And only to see me, with my mom watching WandaVision later going, I told you in the theater. That's who that is. I knew it. And that's pretty much the most that Captain Marvel has done for me.
No, look, because she coming out with a sequel, The Marvels, because it's gonna have Miss Marvel, right? Captain Marvel.
That's supposed to be all 3 of them. Yep.
I'm only watching it for Monica Rambeau. I promise you, that's the only reason I'm watching it. I'm only watching it for Photon and maybe Miss Marvel. And maybe Miss Marvel. If a Captain America, if Brie Larson comes on that screen, I'm walking away.
I wouldn't go that far myself, but I can kind of see where you're coming from. I don't really have a problem with Brie Larson as a person, but yet again, I don't be paying that much attention. I just try to enjoy stuff.
You're right. You're right. You're 100% right. I should start enjoying things, but sometimes you got that one actor that you just can't stand. That every time we come on a thing, be like, oh nope, turn it off. Nope, done.
I can see it.
Nope.
That was me watching the Clone Wars cartoon every time Jar Jar showed up. Not because I dislike Jar Jar, but because every time he showed up in one of those episodes, it was absurdly annoying.
Yes, it was, bro.
Like that time they handed him a blaster for 2 seconds and he shot a senator. If that wasn't in the middle of a 3-episode arc, I would have just skipped it.
Bruh, it's a theory that Jar Jar, it was actually
Jar Jar.
Huh? It was
Jar Jar.
Yes. And if that was true, Moss, that would make Star Wars
improved the character tenfold.
And will make everything make more sense. How clumsy he is, how he convinced the Senate to let the Jedi's do whatever the heck they wanted. And it was just like, and then when he was fighting people, if you seen the Clone Wars and you've seen the movies, he fought a whole army by himself, just being clumsy. I don't care what nobody say. Jar Jar should have been dead. But
that's the Force. That's definitely the Force.
That's definitely the Force. And then Another thing was, it would kind of make sense. Jar Jar will be the undercover Sith, and you know when Yoda was fighting Dooku. In theory, that Yoda was supposed to fight Jar Jar because they both mystical creatures. Okay, we got to. They both mystical creatures, and they both have real good with the Force.
And so the next thing I think we should talk about is the new Niantic game that they're working on. That's basically Pokemon Go, but for Marvel superheroes.
Oh, that would take all the podcast right there. I have so many dang questions because y'all might not know this. I'm a huge Pokemon player. I play the Pokemon card game. I play the Pokemon game, mobile game. I play all the Pokemon. Anything Pokemon, I got it. But that's ridiculous. And then I feel like Jurassic World. This is like clip notes. I feel like Jurassic World and Harry Potter, and they all doing the same thing Pokemon Go is doing. So that's crazy to me that Marvel's about to start his own game. That's why I feel like Disney's trying to put their hands on everything. Oh, Pokemon Go, you doing popular? I'm putting my hands on you. Wait a minute, Pokemon TCG, Master TCG, people spending money on you? Gotta put my hands in it.
Hell, I'm surprised it took them this long to do that.
It did. They probably, the reason why they took them so long is because they probably had to get everything right, because they made a bold statement. They said Pokemon is gonna be on the same level as Pokemon and Magic.
Part of me hopes it flops just because they said that. But on the other hand, if it doesn't flop and gets popular, I'm sure it's all gonna start playing it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm probably not even gonna wait till it gets popular. I'm probably gonna be like trying to collect the cards and stuff like that now. And then when it does flop in like 10, 5, 6 years later, they be like, y'all remember that Disney card game? Yep, I do. I got the limited edition Stitch right here. I have the limited edition Elsa. I got all of that. How much you want? I got you. So it's a win-win for me.
Right. I got this $600 Gaston card.
It's graded, it's level 10. But that's crazy to me podcast with my me and my co-host Moss. The next episode will probably be next week whenever we have free time. But thank y'all for joining the podcast.
Remember, the mouse has ears everywhere.
Everywhere.
Make sure to stay hydrated and always lift with your back and not your legs.
Oh snap! Before we go, I totally forgot the fun fact. Did you know that Disney owns about? Did you know that Disney owns Walmart?
Huh?
Disney owns Walmart. Disney owns a percentage of Walmart.
How big is that percentage?
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
No, I was looking up a whole list of like all the companies Disney owned, and I was gonna list them, but that would have been the entire time we had. It's ridiculous.
It does. It is ridiculous. I've seen that.
If it weren't for the fact they can technically say they have some competition, they'd be a monopoly.
They own about 50% of Walmart.
50%?
Owns about 50% of Walmart.
Y'all, someone needs to stop this mouse.
So they own about 50% of Walmart. That is crazy to me.
That's crazy to me too. Damn.
That is crazy. Well, thank y'all for giving me my time. Yep. Me, Moss, and Ace is out. I'll see y'all on the next time. Peace
out.